This is the Redmi Note 14, an affordable 6.67-inch smartphone packed with some of the features you expect from a $1,000 device. It sports a Full HD plus 120Hz display, a massive 5500 mAh battery, the MediaTek Helio G99 Ultra chipset, a stunning 108MP camera, and supports up to 33 watts fast charging. So let's dive in and find out if this is as good as it sounds. What's great about this phone is that it has some high-end specs and retails for $200. But you can pick this up at a discounted price, and I will leave the link and code in the description for extra savings. The phone's design looks great overall. The front does have slightly thicker bezels compared to higher-end smartphones from today, but they're still relatively thin and don't take away from the look. I actually don't mind it at all. It also features a flat display, which I know a lot of people prefer, and it even comes with a plastic screen protector pre-installed. So you can pick this up in black, green, or blue, which is the one that I went with. And honestly, I'm glad I did, because the color looks really good in person. Now, this is a budget phone, so the build quality doesn't feel very premium. The side rails are made of aluminum composite, and both the back and camera housing are plastic. But even with that, the phone doesn't feel cheap in the hand. The back has a matte finish that does a great job at hiding fingerprints, so it stays looking clean. And let's be real, you're probably gonna throw a case on this anyways, so you won't really be noticing the back that much. So this has an IP54 rating, so it can only withstand dust and splashes, so don't go swimming with this in your pocket. The volume and power buttons are placed just right, not too high, so I can reach them easily without having to shift my grip, which is convenient. The in-display fingerprint sensor is fast at unlocking the phone and has been working consistently without any issues. There are two cool things on this phone. The first one is that this features an IR blaster, housed in this top section. For those that don't know what this shoots an infrared signal to compatible devices to control them. This allows you to control things like TVs, DVD players, and air conditioners if they are compatible. And you can set this up with the default Mi Remote app. The other cool thing is that this has a headphone jack, so you can use this with wired headphones. The specs on this are solid for a budget phone. The display size is almost 6.7 inches, and this is an AMOLED display with a resolution of 1080 by 2400 pixels, and this supports up to a 120Hz refresh rate that you can toggle on in the settings. This also has a peak brightness of 1800 nits, so you can see the screen in most lighting conditions, including outdoors in a sunny day, which is awesome. Since this is an AMOLED screen, the colors look vibrant and you get those inky blacks that look great when you're watching videos. Plus, this phone has stereo speakers, one at the top and one at the bottom, and they actually sound pretty good. When you turn on the Dolby Atmos, the audio gets even better, making music and shows more enjoyable to listen to. Under the hood, this has 6GB of RAM, 128GB of storage, and features the Helio G99 Ultra octa-core processor clocked at 2.2 GHz. This has been performing smoothly while having multiple apps open in the background and playing Call of Duty and PUBG Mobile. This processor has been powerful enough to run the games at 60 frames per second in HD graphics. For the most part, this has been stable and it doesn't get hot after an hour of gameplay. The raw performance on this is great, but the software on this is not perfect. The MIUI software has some bugs and it doesn't feel as stable. There have been a couple of times where I've noticed that the UI stutters when I go back to the home screen. So this can still use some more optimization. There's also a lot of bloatware on this phone, so I recommend going through the library of pre-installed apps and uninstalling them and disabling the ones that you won't use to prevent them from running in the background and taking up resources. The Redmi Note 14 is currently running Android 15 and I just got this update recently, and Xiaomi promises 3 years of OS updates, which is a fair amount for a $200 phone. The Redmi Note 14 features a triple camera setup, with the main camera sensor coming in at 108MP. It also includes a 2MP depth sensor and a 2MP macro lens. Overall, the photo quality is decent, and I say this because this can be a hit or miss. For still photography, it delivers some great results with vibrant colors. However, when there's movement in the frame, you might notice some blur around the edges of people or objects. Portrait shots can sometimes look a bit unnatural, and the white balance tends to lean towards a warmer side, occasionally giving you some photos with a yellowish tint. Night photography is okay. The large f1.7 lens lets in a good amount of light, so it can capture some decent photos. Using the night photography mode is also really helpful at reducing glare. I took a couple of photos with and without night photography, and you can see that with the night photography, the overexposed areas were completely eliminated. So I highly recommend using the night photography mode if you're going to be shooting indoors and you know that there's some areas where it's a little too bright. So the night mode should balance the picture out a little more. This is a quick audio sample coming straight from the microphone of the Redmi Note 14. So this is what the audio quality sounds like. And right now I am recording in 1080p at 60 frames per second, and that is the max resolution that this can record in. Right now I'm just walking, and this is also a quick look at how good the stabilization on this is. In a few seconds I'm going to start running. Alright, so I'll be taking a look at this to see how well it did after I upload this to my computer. But yeah, this is just a quick sample. The 5500 mAh battery is stellar. The phone lasts all day with the always on display enabled, Bluetooth and Wi-Fi always turned on. The battery also charges back up quickly with the 33-watt charging. This gets to 100% in 77 minutes and from 0 to 55% in 40 minutes. So I have no complaints on this battery. So the unboxing experience is great. It comes in a sleek, well-designed box, and inside you get a few nice extras. Inside the box you'll find a case, and not just some throwaway one either. It looks good. You also get a charging brick in the box, which is great. More expensive phones don't even come with one, so it's nice to see Xiaomi including this. Since I picked up the global US version, mine came with the US plug adapter too. There is also an option to get this with a bundle for a few extra dollars. The bundle includes a thin case and a tempered glass screen protector, which is pretty convenient if you just want to get everything right out of the box. I ended up choosing this because I didn't know that there was a case included in here for free, but now you know. Overall, the Redmi Note 14 is a solid option. The processor is fast enough for everyday tasks, the battery life is excellent, and the display looks great. The sound quality is also good, and with 3 years of OS updates promised, it's definitely a phone worth considering. Now, if you need a phone with great picture quality, then this is not it. But if you don't mind it, then I would recommend it. The great thing is that you can pick this up with a discounted price under $150, and I will leave the link in the description. Alright, so that does it for today's video. Thank you all for watching, and don't forget to drop a like and subscribe for more tech related content, and I will talk to you on the next one.